most One Piece videos will always be heavily focused on the main characters, which of course makes complete sense, but here at View with Eyes, side characters also needs love. So that is why I have compiled a few of the best fights One Piece has ever given us where side characters were the only participants involved. PS, I will try not to include one-shot victory fights. Please like and subscribe so we can reach that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I just want to see what happens. The only reason this fight doesn't have a higher spot is because we got robbed of the greatness of what could have been. The fight started off great with crazy animation and crazy displays of power, but it then turned into an off-screen affair, and if you know anything about off-screen Blackbeard, you know how the fight ended, because off-screen Blackbeard is the boogeyman of the One Piece verse. Although this fight didn't blow the top off as I wanted it to, it was still a joy to witness. I didn't want to include one-shot victories in this video, but since this altercation went on longer and multiple attacks were delivered on multiple opponents, I feel it is right to give this one a pass. All three pre-time skip admirals had memorable introductions, but I think Kizaru had the best by far, and it really just displayed how big of a threat these admirals really were. I would like to imagine that if Kizaru was more unhinged, this would have been the death of Drake, Hawkins, Uruj, and Apu. This is truly one of the best displays of absolute dominance you can find in One Piece. Before I start praising Yamato for how cool she is, I just want to give Kaido some respect, because this man went through multiple wars in the same arc and his gas tank wasn't even empty at this point. For how insanely powerful Kaido is and the fact that he was fighting in his hybrid form, Yamato keeping up with him is surely impressive, and the fact that she was able to make him bleed easily gives her a spot in the top 10 strongest female characters in One Piece list. This display of power by Yamato during this fight is exactly why I was so disappointed when she didn't join the Destroyers at the end of the Wano arc. It would have been such a great addition for the crew to have such a powerhouse on the ship. And Trafalgar Law is back in the mix with the fight between Smoker and Vergo. This was basically Smoker's best display of power in the entire series, although Vergo outclassed Smoker in every which way. But even though he was no match for Vergo, he definitely gave us a great fight, and was then able to finesse Law's heart back from Vergo, and we finally got to witness the epicness of the Ope as Law cut Vergo down, cut the lab in half, and also a big chunk of the mountain in a single attack. Over the years, Law has displayed some pretty impressive techniques, but to me, this is his most iconic moment. This is the exact moment that turned me into a lifelong fan of the Surgeon of Death. While this might not be the best fight One Piece has ever delivered, it is easily one of the most impactful moments in the entire story. I know everyone is an Ace fanboy, but I love this fight mostly because we finally got to see Blackbeard in action and just witness why he is considered to be such a dangerous individual. A lot of people like to look down on Blackbeard and say that he is weak, but this fight is one of the biggest pieces of evidence that prove that Teach is not to be messed with. There was even a moment in this fight where Blackbeard almost broke Ace's neck with a single move. I have heard some people try to ride the Ace bandwagon and say that was because of his Delfoot power, but you have to remember the Yami no Mi in this case only gave Blackbeard the ability to touch Ace. The pure brute strength that almost led to Ace having a broken neck was just Blackbeard's normal power. Marshall D. Teach has a coward-like personality, but when it comes down to it, he is actually the truth. I'll just come out and say it, Trafalgar Law is basically the MVP of this video because this man is involved in almost every big fight situation where a side character shines almost as bright as one of the main guys. Even though Big Mom lost, this fight gave me a new level of respect for Charlotte Linden. Law and Kid had to pull out all of the stops. If this was a one-on-one situation, Wano might have been the place where Law and Kid died. All due respects to Captain Kid, but Trafalgar Law was the most impressive person in this handicap match. His Devil ability never ceases to amaze me because he just has so many different abilities at his disposal with this power. The Opi Opinami truly signed against this former Yonko. Garp vs Aokiji was an unexpected masterpiece and a master class of the student versus teacher anime dynamic. Garp displayed here exactly why they call him the legendary Marine. He is clearly out of his prime and he was still able to deliver this much destruction. He also showcased just how important Haki is because Aokiji has one of the most OP abilities in the One Piece verse, and his powerful Haki was able to negate the former Admiral's Devil Fruit power on multiple occasions. I was also just happy to finally be able to witness Aokiji in a drawn out fight, and was even more than happy to get a full fight with a rich backstory that doesn't get cut off just when it is getting good. This has nothing to do with what they call recency bias, but Aokiji vs Garp is truly one of the greatest things to ever happen in One Piece. Ending this video, I'm gonna go to an episode number which I will never forget, and that is One Piece episode 484. I know in terms of animation, other fights in this video may surpass this fight, no question, but no other fight in this video was as satisfying and as epic at the same time. This was the first time we ever witnessed the wrath of a Yonko, and it was a beautiful sight to behold. Whitebeard was nearing the end of his life at this point, and he still managed to deliver a battle of this magnitude. Kaido even connected on a move that burned the insides of Newgate, but that still wasn't enough to finish this epic battle. Whitebeard just stood up and connected on an attack that shook the entire Marine Fort. If you didn't get goosebumps at the conclusion of this epic one-on-one, you surely must be made of stone. But hey, this is View with Ice, and this is some of the best fights in One Piece by only the side characters. Please like and subscribe so we can reach that 1000.